A weekend turned deadly for a Southern Kentucky family. Officials say a teenager drowned at Lake Cumberland.
The coroner says 17-year-old Cameron Powell died after a car went into the water at the Clifty Creek boat ramp. Powell just graduated from Pulaski County High School. WKYT's Phil Pendleton has more on what happened and why some believe the road where it took place could be made safer. It's our top story at 5.
Such a beautiful, pristine place, but this was the scene of a tragedy Friday night. We're told that some friends were simply going to a get-together. When they left that house, somehow they got disoriented. They went the wrong way. They didn't realize this road ended in water, and one teenager was able to escape the car, and the other one was not.
According to the gentleman driving the car, they took a wrong turn out of the driveway that they'd pulled out of.
The teenager who died is 17-year-old Cameron Powell. He attended Pulaski County High School and had just graduated. Clifty Creek Road comes right off of Highway 127 south of Jamestown, and it ends in the water. People who live in the area say there's no signage that indicates the water, and when it's dark, it would be hard to see water at the bottom of the hill. This is not the first time police have been called to a drowning here. Several years ago, another teenager died when swimming without a life jacket.
And that's a popular place for the teenagers to go to and swim. But unfortunately, he said he was going to swim to the other side and back, and he made it about halfway and cramped up evidently and went down.
Police do believe at this point this was simply just a terrible, tragic accident. We are told that Cameron Powell's body was sent to Frankfort for an autopsy, and the preliminary autopsy did reveal that the cause of death was drowning. In Russell County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Somerset Undertaking is handling Powell's funeral.